Yeah. Can you hear me, sir? Shubham? Yeah. So we are live. Let's start off. So, a very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the live webinar today. I am Nikitha from the marketing team of Hylobiz, and joining us today is a very esteemed guest, Mr. Abhishek Raja Ram, sir, CA, author, and a GST expert with over 15 years of experience. He is also a person who has built a very massive online presence with his knowledge and insightful articles and does not need an introduction among the GST enthusiasts. Thank you so much for joining the session, sir. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. Yeah. And we have one more special person joining us today, who is the project manager at Hylobiz, Shubham Katoch. He has been with us for over 2 years now and have been one of our real power sources. So Shubham will be walking us through a quick product demo towards the end of the session on how e-invoicing can be used on Hylobiz. Welcome to the webinar, Shubham. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah. So today we're going to discuss about the topic e-invoicing and its impacts. Most of us are aware that starting October 1st, 2022, businesses with an aggregate annual turnover of 10 crores and more will have to compulsorily generate e-invoices for B2B transactions according to the Finance Ministry. But why is e-invoicing important for businesses? How can SMEs prepare for it? And what are the consequences of not complying with e-invoicing are something that every business needs to understand. So let's hear it from the expert himself. Abhishek sir, we know that the applicability of the fifth phase of e-invoicing started on October 1st. So how, according to you, can SMEs prepare for e-invoicing?
Good afternoon to you, my co-panelist Shubhamji, and everyone listening to this broadcast. So yes, fifth phase is has already been started from 1st of October. Now, for MSMEs, there are many challenges. First, they have to upgrade to their ERPs, which sometimes, in most of the cases, MSMEs are not on ERPs per se. Then they need to create a master list, data master list, through which they would be generating e-invoicing. For example, name of whom they are supplying, his GST IN, his phone numbers, email ID. There could be possibility that a party is registered in multiple states, or in the same state it could be having multiple registrations. Now, and their bank details, our own bank details, so that we can generate a smart codes. Now, one of the most challenging thing is that some of the MSMEs don't have a proper accounts department, or don't have an expert accounting department. So this is also a challenging challenge for them to upgrade their accounts department, or to train their finance team who could handle exception reports, exception errors. And because see, currently they might be well, their accounting team might be well versed with dealing with e-way bills. Now we have to train them that before generating your e-way bill or visiting an e-way bill site, you have to first visit this IRN site, and you have to generate these all things. And you have to also make them understand that first you have to generate your regular invoice, then you have to go to IRN site, then you have to copy that QR code, and then you have to generate this e-way bill. Because in some of the cases, people start believing that when e-invoice comes, that you don't need to generate your regular invoice. They believe that everything will be generated online. So this is also a challenge. And post IRN also. Once IRN is generated and you find some errors, and within 24 hours you have to rectify that error or you have to cancel it. Then how you have to train them for handling these things, and if 24 hours is a short time, and if it has gone, then how you have to handle this. And you have to train them that you have to generate these for only B2B supplies, need not to work for B2C, and what impact it would be in your e returns also. For B2B, it would be auto-populated. GSTR1 would be auto-populated, but for B2C, you have to especially enter those details for B2C. So this is the challenge which MSME has to face. Over to you, Matt.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. That said, can we know how does e-invoicing entirely change the business processes?
So first of all, it reduces the reconciliation part, and it abolishes the thought process of having a fake invoices. It also helps in generating it's not having a duplicacy of the data. So you have to generate only e-invoice, and it will impact your two things. It would impact your e-way which would be auto-populated, and your GSTR1 would be also be auto-populated. Once you file your GSTR1, then your 2A would be auto-populated. Now, there would be different type of varieties which one would be generating their invoices. But once everyone comes to e-invoice schema, then there would be more standardization. Everyone would be going with that format only, and it also helps MSMEs in getting some revenue faster. Cash flows could be better because we had seen that some of the companies stops payment. They say that we will release your payment when we will see your credits in our GSTR 2A or 2B. So because of e-invoice, it would be there. Also, if the party approaches to bank or NBFCs for factoring of their invoices, then also because of e-invoice, this could be helpful for them, and it would reduce the time limit for getting, and it would be easier to get payment for this. There are certain private players also who was helping in this field, who are trying their luck to become a big shot in this field, and they would be there. I think your company is also one of them, or your sister concern would be one of them, who would be helping people for factoring of e-invoice, or helping them making payments for the GST part. So this is all. And one more thing, there would be less papers in our offices if everyone comes to e-invoice. The paperwork and multiple time entering of the same data will reduce to a great extent, and this would be more better for MSMEs because every penny saved is penny earned. So lesser reconciliation, lesser need of manpower, your expenditure is less, and duplicacy of error is abolished. So that's saving your prices, abolition of paper, and getting money faster. Again, your capital performance has increased, and this will lead to improvement in your business efficiency. The accounts department would be able to save huge amount by better cash flows.
Yes, sir. So we could also say that it reduces the human errors as well. Yeah. So moving on to the next question, sir. What modes of e-invoicing generations are available?
So e-invoice could be generated by direct venturing to the website, e-invoice website. Then there are GST Suvidha providers. Then there are say APIs or the solution provider, which could help in this, and SMS, SMS and mobile apps, offline tools. There are various modes of generating, but I think that having linking your accounting software with some sort of API will definitely reduce errors and would be better rather than venturing into the e-invoice portal every time and entering it for manually. That would be easier for someone who is generating couple of invoices a day, but for someone who has the regular invoices to a much numbers, or who want to do a bulk generation of e-invoices, then I think API suits best according to me, whatever experience I have these many years.
Yep. So we understand the like there are various methods of invoice generation, but how do we understand how to choose the right mode of invoice generation?
No, nobody needs to teach a businessman how to do business, and this is also part of their business. So they will do a factory, a cost benefit analysis, and how much is the cost of implementing of this system, how much
Mm-hmm.
training cost is required, and how much uh, errors we are able to reduce, how much time period we are able to save through this. So, see, my choice is always going through some sort of API. This is my personal choice. But there are few. I think you are also GST Suvidha provider, GSP.
Yeah, part of.
So
Yeah.
you could also, yeah, part of. So these could help. Means a GST Suvidha provider, a online portal, who would link your business software, and with this help of it, you could do bulk generation. I think Shubham would be helping
Mm-hmm.
us after this, after my session is over, with these sort of entries, how your software would be working. But see, if you are doing manually on every time visiting a government portal or doing it, so it's again a manual thing. And whenever there is manual work, there are greater chances of errors, mistakes, omissions. So, uh, and see, in the see, we are in 22nd year of 21st century. It's a technological century. So doing everything manually is not the best thing. Whatever work we need to do multiple times, we should automate it. And whatever manual work we could eliminate, that will definitely help us. So there could be one person who could say, no, I would be happy with my MS Excel or DBase. I will create MS Access, and I will run a structured query. I will use lookup tool, then I will pick all the details. So you can do it, you can do it, but given me a chance, and I being very lazy, I would like to do it through software. I would say, boss, I am happy with my own things. Let software take care of these all things. So I'm not endorsing any product, but given me a chance, I would like to do with only with the any software, whichever suits you, whichever suits to your scale of business, and also the
Right.
staff you are having, how you can train them. So first thing, see, this training cost would be one time, but the regular ones which they have to handle. See, if you take a complex software, and your staff is not able to handle it, then
Mm-hmm.
also it will create problem in longer run. Or if you take a cheaper software which is not able to handle the level of queries you want to have, or see, bulk generation is slower, or then one day your staff will say, no, I will do it online on the website. So we have to, there cannot be one answer. So someone would go with A, other one would go with B. So
Mm-hmm.
it all depends on the scale of the business, number of invoices they need to generate, what sort of accounting team they have, how well versed with these systems is there, and how much support the software team is going to give them. What regarding the training sessions, regarding removal of errors, and what is the scalability of this software. So all things. Considering all things, you will definitely get one software or GST Suvidha provider which will be help for everyone.
Right. I completely agree with you on that point, sir. And that brings me to the question on reconciliation. So we know that reconciliation is something that's inevitable. So how does the reconciliation process change here?
See, the reconciliation process is very complicated if you do some sort of error. Well, once I say that whatever IRN you have generated, your sales register has those sales, then there is no reconciliation for you. Now I'm talking about your company person who is using this or who is generating e-invoice. Now, Second thing, your IRN numbers are less than whatever your sales registers. So these could be because of B2C supplies, which are not to be shown in, for which IRN was not required to be generated. Now, if there is some sort of a problem that you have more IRN with less number of sales rates, now, say for example, 24 hours has gone and you were not able to amend that invoice, and you have generated a new IRN. Now, with this, your IRN will be imported to auto-populated, not say imported. Your IRN would be auto-populated to your GSTR1. Now you have to take backup of that both, and then you have to reconcile. And with help of that reconciliation, you have to remove that IRN. It could be one-way process. Alternatively, people could have removed all IRN, and then they would be feeding manually what the sales register says. This could create a problem because the entire linking of that entire chain of that IRN is removed. Now the buyer would be having some sort of problem if you end up doing like this. Then there the reconciliation for the if I say that everything has been generated correctly, there are no errors from your side. The reconciliation for the other party, who's your buyer. Now there would not be any problem. There would be zero reconciliation. For example, his sales books would be saying that he has received 100 supplies and everyone is in e-invoices. I believe they have filed their correct return, they have filed timely return, then his 2A 2B would be showing 100 as receipts of ITC. Now his reconciliation would be zero. If I say my IRN says 100, my sales register says 120, then I have to manually enter those 20 into GSTR1. Or for example, for that 100, my e-way bill would be 80. For everything I have not generated let's say e-way bill, then it is okay. If they are 100, both are 100, then also it is okay. But if my e-way bill is 120, now I have to create a separate reconciliation for IRN sales register because that 20 might not be the supplies. They could be goods who are moved for against delivery challan. These are not my supplies. So then an entire chain of reconciliation has to be adjusted as per with IRN. So these would be so it is see, it is simplifying your process. It is reducing errors, but some of the business might need more reconciliation.
Right. Yeah. So, what is the impact of e-invoicing on the return filing process?
So on a simpler terms, you may say that it is very easy now. It is reducing your errors. It is reducing your time because once you file details in e-invoice, then it has impact on two things. First is your GSTR1 and your GSTR returns. Sorry, e-way bill and then GSTR1. And so it is auto-populated. You need not to enter again and again unless you need to delete some of the entries or you need to, and then you have to manually enter only B2C supplies for which you have not generated this e-invoice. And it is quick process. It is reducing, eliminating your errors. So as far as the return process is concerned, it is moving towards smoothing. And once you create all your e-invoices, then you don't need to work hard on these things.
Right. So, moving to the ultimate question. So, how can e-invoicing benefit SMEs?
Past 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we are telling benefits
Yeah.
only.
So, just to conclude the
Repeating.
gist of it.
See, the conclusion is that they would be reducing their manpower.
Mm-hmm.
Their manpower would they would not be required to do manual work again and again. So this improves morale also of a staff also get time, so they could devote their time for generating some sort of MIS. They could be better. Reconciliation time is reduced. This is cost efficient. You will get your you will get your GST billed output money, output tax money faster, because the your buyer will be seeing his invoice in his GSTR 2A 2B. So when some of the buyers said that we will pay only when our ITC, when your invoice is reflected in our GSTR 2A 2B, then only we are going to release your payment. So this way, it is also giving you better cash flows. If you go for factoring of your invoice, then e-invoice helps in factoring of that money also, so you could get your money faster. So for example, if I am supplying something to someone which I have a time period of say 180 days, the payment will come after 180 days. Now I cannot wait for 180 days. So with this e-invoice, I could get money in 15 to 20 days. There are companies who are going to factor it, and when the money comes early, money comes fast, then definitely this will improve my business efficiency, and abolition of paper, duplicacy of the work is reduced, uh, and reduction in prices also. So if we factor these all things, then definitely businesses are in a better situation. And in fact, e-invoicing will help MSMEs with improved cash flow. And after COVID times, definitely some of the businesses are in pressure of getting cash flows. And when after Rule 36 of Rule 4, and now with this new GSTR 2B linking 100% of the ITC with GSTR 2B, so if you get 100% of your money, which is output tax, so you need not to pay output tax from your own pocket first time, and then get money from the vendor. So this definitely is going to improve efficiency also. And see, there are no disputes also with respect to payments. Third, it increases your acceptability or of your ITC also. Department tomorrow cannot go and say, see, these were fake big bills, these were bogus bills. When you say no, everything was there, invoice was also there, so e-way bill was there, and definitely you would be making payments on time. Because see, MSMEs sometimes don't make payments on time because they don't have cash flows, in positive cash flows. So with everything going positive, they would be having money to file their payment taxes on time, and there would be no interest liability also if they are paying on time. So it's a win-win situation, and this is going to help a lot. E-invoicing is blessing in disguise, if you say. So your statutory compliance is improved, but the benefit associated with it are so high that it will effectively increase your cash flows, positive cash flows. So MSMEs are going to have a win-win situation with this.
That's great, sir. Thank you so much for sharing this insight. And like going towards the end, what are the consequences of not complying with invoicing?
See, in when we go for say, when we talk about GST, if you don't comply with anything, there are two outputs. Either your output tax will increase or your ITC is reduced. Now with GST, it is e-invoice. First thing is, if you don't generate e-invoice, now penalty for non-issuance of e-invoice is 100% of the tax due, or rupees 10,000, whichever is higher. And this is for each and every invoice for which you don't generate. Now this is subject to Rule 48 sub Rule 5. Now there is one more view of experts who say that if you don't generate invoice, then effectively you have not generated invoice as per section 31. And if you have not generated invoice, a valid invoice as per section 31, then you cannot pass on the credits. And this is say they say the department can challenge in ITC for your buyer also if you have missed generating e-invoice. Now, I personally don't agree with this view, because of the reason that section 31 is section which don't talks about e-invoice, and These things for credits, sorry, for e-invoice comes through rules, and rules are always machinery provisions. Machinery provisions cannot override the main provisions. Therefore, in my humble opinion, even if your vendor has missed generating e-invoice, then it is not harmful for you, though you might receive the letter from department for which you will definitely reply to it, but that is not going to challenge your ITC per se. That is my personal opinion. I reserve the right to be wrong, because till date I have not found anyone who is of this view.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So this has been like one of the best knowledgeable sessions for me as well. So coming towards the end, let's see whether any of our audiences would like to ask any questions in the comment section. So we have got a couple of questions, sir. With your permission, shall I proceed with it? Yeah. So one of the questions is, what are your thoughts on e-invoicing as a game changer to curb fake invoicing and ITC misappropriation?
So we have covered this point, but again, when this comes through e-invoice, then department has a weaker ground to challenge
Mhm.
your ITC or say that this was a fake invoices. So you would be having e-invoice, you would be having e-way bill, you would be having bank transactions, you would be having payment slips, you would be having bill teas, everything you would be having. Then it would be very difficult for department to challenge that these invoices are fake eventually. uh, an ITC misappropriation would not be there, because
Mhm.
HSNs would be more clear, everything would be there. So I don't feel that fake invoices would be charges of fake invoices would be levied on these e-invoices. But again, department can say, so then we must have a reply to what they are saying.
Right. So I think that answers the question. Thank you so much, sir. And I think there are no more questions, just the one question. And with this, we come to the product walkthrough session. And before that, I should say that it is understandable that invoicing is important in helping organizations streamline their invoice processing cycles. And we say that invoicing has become one of the most strategic steps companies are taking towards digitization of the processing cycles. And before winding up, we'd like to show you a quick product walkthrough on how businesses can use invoicing on Hylobiz and take their business to the next level. So over to you, Shubham.
Thank you, Nikita. Yeah, so first of all, a lot of thanks, Abhishek ji. That was a very insightful session. And from the whole session that went away, there were two takeaways. I think that the gist was basically around two keywords. One was transparency, and the other was automation. So, like, these two things are really shaping up things going forward. From transparency point of view, what e-invoice can do, it can make the things more transparent going forward. And now, as the bracket has reduced down to 10 crores, so yeah, it would be so we would see more transparency going forward from the SME sides, and also automation. So automation is like uh, riding on fire, riding on winds. As of now, it's like from the Teslas to the Alexas. Nobody wants to drive a car. It's like, Alexa, just do self-driving, and we are good to go. And Alexa, turn on the lights. So it's all on the go. So, like, on the same lines, on the same concepts, we have built a system, Hylobiz. So in terms of e-invoicing and various other functionalities. So yeah, from Hylobiz perspective, we are Padva Vayana, who are the India's largest GSP Suvidha provider. So we generate e-invoices at the zero time, and in just it's just a matter of few clicks, and we are good to go with the e-invoice generations. So let me run you through the product so that all of you who are here can see how easy it is to generate an e-invoice on a platform. So please confirm if my screen is visible. Nikita, can you confirm?
It's visible, Shubham.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So yeah, as you can see, we have got a very insightful dashboard. Firstly, so we keep a track of all the collections and the payables. So yeah, so uh, in our platform, we have given multiple options wherein the user can come and generate an e-invoice. So the very simpler way the user can come is he can just come here on Jumpstart and he can get several options. Apart from e-invoice, he can create an e-way bill also on our platform. So yeah, let me go ahead with creating an e-invoice. So let me just excuse me for the inconvenience. So yeah, as I was saying that from here we have the possibility to create e-invoices from the scratch and e-way bills as well. So yeah, as soon as I select this option, I get the option to select a contact to which I am generating an e-invoice. So let me select one of the contacts. So I select him. So herein what we can see is we can select all the address. We can add the address as per our uh, convenience. Let's see here. So we select the item for which we are creating. I don't know why is this happening. I think someone is using it. Please excuse me for that. So the address gets populated by itself. So we select the shipping address. We select the item. I don't know. Let me just give me a second. So herein we select an item. Uh, we have also the possibility to select a branch. So if, for example, let's say if some of the organization has branches in multiple states, so we have given the possibility to add the branch and accordingly they can select a branch and from there onwards they can generate an e-invoice. So here in it's using the same my credential, so that's why this issue is happening. So as soon as we confirm all these details, an e-invoice would be generated. So we can see that e-invoice registration number has came in, IRN is generated, and it has been successfully generated. And also we can see from the transparency point of view, from QR code and the scanning point of view, we can see the officially invoice details, wherein we have the generated IRN, which is the same which got generated over here. We have got a QR code for the transparency, wherein it can be verified easily that the invoice generated on our system is correct. And on the same lines, we have given a QR code as well. QR code as well on our platform from the tracking and transparency point of view. So yeah, all the details which were entered with respect to the address and with respect to the products has came in, and the e-invoice gets generated very easily on our platform. So on the same lines, as Abhishek ji was saying that in the very start he mentioned that there is a problem wherein the MSMEs don't have the ERPs, and if they have the ERPs, they have to go to the government portal. So we have also the possibility where we have integrated with a few of the ERPs. We sync in the data, and accordingly we can convert the invoices they have created on our platform to the e-invoices. So that's a capability that Hylobiz has got. So it's just a matter of few clicks and e-invoice would be ready in front of us. So yeah, Nikita, that's majorly from the product walkthrough point of view on e-invoicing.
Yeah, thank you
But
so
yeah,
much,
sorry,
Shubham.
excuse me for the inconveniences. So there was some technical issue. So due to that, there was a bit of conflicts that were going on. But yeah, I think it got sorted towards the end.
No problem. Anyway, we were able to get a walkthrough from you on this.
Shubhamji,
Thank you.
we ha- we have become habitual of technical glitches in GST. You please continue.
Yeah, it's like with the advent of the virtual world post pandemic, it has been a thing. So yeah. So
Yeah,
I think
thank you so much, Shubham.
the platform that we have built is quite automated and convenient from a point of view where a user can come in and easily generate invoices without any hesitation, without any delays. It's just a matter of few clicks, and there is a zero downtime. And like he's good to go with the e-invoicing on a platform. And yeah, with the bracket going down to 10 crores, it would be much more convenient for the other MSME people also to come in and generate e-invoices using our platform.
Thank you for the insights, Shubham. I hope it has been a great walkthrough, and the audience has got some information regarding how they can actually use Hylobiz for the whole invoicing part. So, Abhishek, sir, we have a couple of more questions that have popped up on the comment box. So, one of the questions is that will the e-invoice format be the same for all categories of taxpayers?
See, e-invoice format for the details which you have to fill in. There are, I think, 160 things which you can enter, but only few are mandatory, like date, GSTIN, name would be auto-populated, place, and the address, and your own details would be auto-populated, HSN, description, amount, evaluation, rate, and taxes. These are the mandatory thing, I think so. Others are recommendatory if you can put in, but this helps us for formatting the same sort of data. Everyone would be putting same. So when JSON files are imported, so everyone would be moving towards the same set of things. And I think the e-invoices schema is on PEP or something like that. Shubhamji could be better naming it. I think that is the one. I'm not good in remembering so many names. So yes, it would be standard format for everyone. But whatever is generated, but you don't need that one. You will generate your invoice in your own format, which you have been doing currently. You would just be copying the QRMP code. Sorry, yes, the code QR code, not QRMP. Sorry, the QR code, and you would be affixing it on your invoices. And you can paste a IRN number also if you like.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I hope that answers the question. And I know, like, we have been talking about invoicing from the start. So there is one question that has popped up stating, how will the e-invoicing model work?
So model, I don't understand whether you are talking about the technical part which Shubhamji has been telling, or the conceptual part which I have been discussing. So
Yeah.
the conceptual part is that you will be generating a regular invoice, and let us forget API. Now, with this regular detail, you would be visiting e-invoice site, logging into e-invoice site with your login ID, putting all the relevant details there, generating a QR code, copying that QR code, affixing it to your own invoice, and you would be printing your invoice on your regular letterhead with the format which you would be using till today. So there is no change in your regular format which you have been using till date because of e-invoice. Then what has to be put in into that e-invoice website? So those details which I in my earlier question answer which I told you, that these are the mandatory things which you have to provide. Other details you can provide, you can avoid. That depends on you. And with that, the QR code. So this comes with the QR code. Someone can scan and make payment for that through that QR code also.
Okay.
So
Thank you so much, sir. I think that those are the questions that have popped up on the comment box. And we are coming to the end of this session. Thank you so much, Shubham, and thank you so much, Abhishek, sir, for taking the time to walk us through the entire insights on e-invoicing. And it was indeed a wonderful session, and we have gained a lot of knowledge from Abhishek ji. And also, Shubham, thank you so much for quickly running us through the product walkthrough and giving us insights on the walkthrough through the walkthrough. And that's not the end. I would like to disclose one more thing before concluding. I'd like to convey to the all businesses out there that Hylobiz is offering a special referral program with exclusive benefits. It's an opportunity to transform the way you do business. And with this program, you can refer other businesses to Hylobiz and help them achieve good business health and steady growth through digitization and business process automation. So you can bring them to the fold and grab exclusive rewards. So go to www.hilo.biz and click on the referral option on right top right corner of the website, and you can just fill up the form and grab the opportunity. I'm also sharing the link in the comment box so that it would be easier for accessing. Yeah, so I'm just sharing it here as well. Yeah. So that's the end, and we're going to conclude the session. Thank you so much to the audience for joining the session and asking questions so that the Abhishek sir can answer the questions. And thank you so much for spending your time. And Abhishek sir, once again, thank you for joining with us today. And thank you, Shubha. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Abhishek ji.